Yeah.
Any rock you can put in here, it will crush.
Okay. Any rock that fits into
3-inch or
3-inch
so
or a little
is,
bit
or less.
less.
Is
Okay.
a good way to go.
All right.
There is a movable plate here
Okay.
to adjust to the approximate size of the rock.
Okay.
Which is controlled by this lever here. It moves it
Show the
somewhat.
lever there.
I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
over here.
Okay. So that lever actually moves this.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's right in there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I hope the
Okay.
paint isn't still wet.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So.
So if you were using smaller rock, you
Right.
just open that to the maximum size. you can
Gotcha.
take.
Okay.
So the music goes in there, comes out there.
Okay.
Now you control the particle size by cut and try, which will vary with the general hardness of the rock you're using.
Okay.
But basically it's controlled by two methods. The primary method is engine speed,
Okay.
and the secondary method is in here there is a wire screen. And its main purpose, even though the screen is larger than the particle size, its main purpose is to keep out the larger particles and only let the small ones through.
Okay.
So between the two, either making the screen, putting in a piece of window screen or something finer, quarter
Okay.
inch, cut and try though. It's the only way
How
to
do you
it.
actually replace the screen to the size that you want? You have to unbolt this?
Yeah.
And then
That-
you put it a different
Yeah, the screen is right in between
a
there.
different fineness on the screen.
Right. It's primarily for dry ore.
Okay.
If by any chance water gets in it or it's clay, it can clog up the rotor.
Okay.
The cleaning is this pin is pulled and the bottom hinges down.
So this pin right here,
Right.
pull it.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to pull it now because
Right. So you pull that pin and
Yeah.
this whole thing comes
the
down.
bottom half goes down so that
Okay.
you can clean out any clay or stuff that inadvertently
Okay.
happened.
Well, since it's been sort of touched up, this might be a little
Yeah.
clogged up, so you might have to bang it down
Yeah,
a little bit.
uh-huh.
Okay.
So that's basically that.
Okay.
And then of course you got a gas filter. You've got a new gas filter on it, new
Okay.
battery.
New battery, new gas filter.
Yeah. This
Okay.
is the air cleaner.
Okay.
And they hid the starter button.
Okay, so the startup button is all the way
It's
underneath.
right here.
Okay.
I'll just push it momentarily.
All right, that's the starter button.
Hey, wait a minute. What did he do? There
you
we go. Okay. It's a 12-volt battery.
Okay.
Okay. Now, obviously, I could try to start it all day long.
Right.
Nothing would, with gas and oil.
Right.
Nothing would happen because this is an on-off switch.
Oh, this is the on-off switch
Right.
here. So first you have to put that to on, then
Right.
you have to trigger the start button.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll just rotate.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then, of course, if you have a dead battery or
Right.
whatever, you do have the manual.
So in case we have a dead battery, you've got the manual pull just like a regular, like a regular landmark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the 8 horsepower.
Engine.
Yeah. And
Okay.
parts of the Brigg & Stratton is a good, the best name. for
They're
small
fairly
cars.
available.
Parts are available all over the world.
Okay.
Although we've never had any real problem.
So Al, what's going to be the things? Obviously, if there's wet rock going in, we're going to have to clean occasionally.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah,
Now, if
okay.
there's a minor amount of moisture,
Okay.
probably you won't have a problem. But
Okay.
if you had a pile of materials been sitting there and got soaked and it's porous,
Right.
you could, or you get a clay mixed with it. That's the only thing you have to worry about. It's meant for dry or relatively dry. Now, if the water is contained in the crystallization,
That's gonna.
up to 20%,
Right.
no problem.
Okay.
But it would appear to be dry, but it might have some internal water.
Okay. Is there anything else besides cleaning that out? Obviously, the mesh. We're gonna have to change the mesh depending upon how fine.
Now, it might be very well, and you might get all the control you want
Okay.
from the engine speed.
Okay. So it's really, how do you increase the engine speed to make the fineness? Because there's got to be a speed, right?
Yeah,
Which
with the
will in
speed.
effect create a finer mesh.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Finer or coarser, depending which way you go.
Okay, finer or coarser. Slower would be coarser. Higher RPMs would be finer, I would think, right? And between the engine speed and the mesh,
Yeah.
those are the two defining
Yeah.
elements that
Yeah.
make it
Most
that way.
likely, the engine speed will give you the most change.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, well, it doesn't really matter. This is a small tank. It looks
Yeah.
like a couple of gallons.
Yeah. It runs 8 hours.
8 hours on
Well,
a couple of
it all
gallons?
depends
How
what speed,
fast? Yeah, of
up
course.
to 8.
Okay. All right. And obviously, this is your belt.
And then the motor just gets its normal
Maintenance?
Every 50 hours they want you to
Clean the air filter.
Yeah.
And is this the oil pump? I guess that's the motor drive. That's the motor drive?
Yeah, for the electric.
Where's the oil pump in here?
Oh, here's where you fill it up.
Okay, fill oil here.
Right.
Okay. All right.
It says it in big proper letters. That's perfect.
Typical engine. All right.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's still new. Okay.
Okay, the only other thing to tell you about.
Yeah.
Depending on what particle size you're looking for.
Okay.
But let's say you wanted 200 mesh.
Uh-huh.
When it comes out here, it's going to blow away in the wind.
You gotta have a sack on it or something.
Yeah, so either you have what they call a bag house.
Yep.
Sometimes it's maybe 20 foot long a bag and it allows it to go. Or it goes into a barn, a little housing or something.
Okay.
So you need, but you don't want to restrict the airflow.
Sure. No, I understand.
But as I say, this goes down very fine.
Okay.
And if you're going that fine, you want to make sure you don't lose your values. to the
Sure.
wind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Incidentally, when they crate this,
Mhm.
it takes up not as much room. If you want to move it around,
Yeah.
this pin here, way back is my pin, and there's the pin. Oh, okay.
These bolts.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you loosen that,
Yeah.
this will swing up and you can wheel it like a wheelbarrow.
I see. So in other words, this is just a stand.
Yeah,
Hey.
Where if we undo these bolts, we can just lift
yeah,
it.
lift it up, and
Okay.
if you're strong enough, you can wheel it like a wheelbarrow.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm trying to-
Or if we, I mean, this will most likely come when we get it to Africa. This will come off the crate,
Yeah.
and essentially, then we'd have to try and find maybe something to put this
Yeah.
on.
Well, actually, if you put it on a piece of level ground, it will vibrate somewhat.
Right.
It's better if you can put it on something like this.
Sure.
But
Okay.
basically, it doesn't need anything else.
Okay.
Now, let me get a hold of Don to put the oil and gas on.
Okay, and then we'll crank it up.
Yeah, and look-
How much you want the grain to come out? I mean, it's sort of like trial and error between this, the screen, and the revolutions of the motor. It will essentially determine what the granular fineness of the rock that's put in there. And I think I just found the speed.
Oh, where is it?
It's right here. That's a choke. Okay, so that's the choke.
Yeah, let me get it. Okay, that's the choke right there.
Choke right here. It's right there. It says choke.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so it does.
It works.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's had almost no use at all. Just from sitting there.